I'm just waiting.
A clapper.
Is it like the last episode? I'm just waiting. Before we jump into this, you guys have something you're going to say to me to freak me out?
No.
I'm waiting.
Nothing.
Because I'm gonna go.
Go for it.
And as soon as I go, Byron's going to say something. He's going to be like, I'm going to yank all your beard hairs out or something. Good luck. They're not very long. Ready? 3, 2.
I don't have anything.
Roll the intro.
Hello? No, I know. No, don't worry about it. Season 4 starts right now. Let's go! Welcome back to Under the Influence, Season 4. This is now episode 4.
It's Lucky
It's a
Force.
4x4.
It's a 4x4.
It's 4x4. 16.
We should have a guess.
That's 2
I
away
know,
from
man.
18.
That's 2 away from 18. They're not words. It doesn't matter. The number 18 doesn't
16
matter.
is... Wait, how many letters are in 16?
7.
Okay. So we talked about this last episode.
week? Yes.
Yeah, last week.
It was a week ago that we recorded.
How many letters are in medial epicondylitis?
I don't know. I don't even know how
He
to
doesn't know
say
the
it.
word. If he knows the word, then he
Epicondylitis.
can.
If I know how to spell it, I can
It's
count
actually
it.
epicondylitis.
Epi.
Epicondylitis.
Let me guess how to spell it first.
Yeah,
Epi. So epic, EPIC.
possibly. I'm dyslexic.
Oh yeah, because you're dyslexic.
You're asking the
This
dyslexic
literally,
guy how
he
to...
can't figure it out. then.
No, absolutely not.
It's literally impossible right now.
Give me a different word.
a
real word.
That was a real word.
A culturally real word.
Culturally real word.
That's a really. I had the same problem.
That's a difficult word.
Culturally real
10.
word. So the words that like.
All right. Welcome back to the Under the Influence. We're glad you're here. We're glad to be here.
we are glad to be here.
Yeah.
At least I am. Byron.
Yeah.
What?
Just kidding.
I'm so happy they're here at our table.
They're here at our
they?
table.
Yeah,
They are.
Oh,
they,
them.
They are
They're
the fourth
here.
seat. Yeah, that's true. You said, why don't we have a guest? We do have a guest. You,
They
the
are
listener.
the guest. They are
You
number 4.
Every
are
week
the
You
guest.
are the 4.
You are the guest.
So when we have
The
a
guest
fourth
of
person
honor.
on,
You actually
you're the
get
fifth.
more of the table than the rest of us.
That's true. They have an
Wow.
entire side of it to
They do
themselves.
have their side of
My
it.
headphones sound a little bit. There we go. It's better. I should have balanced them.
Oh, okay. They were just unbalanced. Should have play tested with it first.
We're glad to be here. We are recording video as normal. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing that great video with 3 camera angles. Bing, bang, bang, boom. And we're recording audio separately and the same. Isn't that incredible? Also recording audio to be disseminated through podcasting platforms that are audio only.
All of the channels. Oh my
All the channels. We don't have video on Spotify. Some people do, which is incredible. I don't know how they do that. But I haven't figured it out yet. I've looked into it, and I'm pretty sure we can't. I think
Dude, certain bands will have like video
now.
play
Yeah.
with their songs.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah, it's wild. Some podcasts, though, I think it might have something to do with like if you're exclusively on Spotify or something.
Yeah.
But- or you just, if you're podcast hosting, like putting your stuff up individually on each database yourself. We use a podcast host that just goes, puts them all everywhere.
It might be if we did it ourselves.
Maybe. It's a way more work.
Yeah.
No thanks. Buzzsprout is nice, dude. You can just
It
throw it
is.
up there, and it's like all the directories, like 10, 15 different directories, and it just puts them all up
And
there
it
for
puts
you.
it on things that we didn't even hear about.
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
And those sometimes get 1 or 2 plays.
Like Yahoo Plays.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yahoo plays.
Hey, if you're
don't
listening on
think that's
Yahoo
actual.
Plays,
Yeah, I don't
we
think it's a real
appreciate
thing.
you.
Yeah, I don't think that's a real thing.
No.
I just made something up.
Yahoo is, it will always be in my head, like what I associate with like old people. Or something, or like, well, I actually, not to be rude, but like, I think my grandma did have a Yahoo email for a long time.
no, does Shibbles
I'm getting, yeah.
Oh, no.
I was getting to that. I noticed that our producer has a Yahoo email.
No.
But it's okay because
he's...
he has 5.
He has 5 Yahoos.
I have 5
It's 2024.
Wait,
dude. I
he
have a
has-
Hotmail still.
He has 5 Yahoos?
No. Are they all Yahoo?
Are they all Yahoo?
No, I know. I know
Three
this
of them
one
are
is
AOL.
because
Three
one
of
of
them are
them,
AOL.
one of them is his Christian influence one, which is Gmail. So
Yeah.
So for Yahoo. No,
Yahoo.
I just only, like growing up, knew my grandma was the only person that had a Yahoo email. And I was like, oh, so that's what grandmas use.
Yeah. Doesn't Mike from the podcast have a Yahoo email?
Mike from the podcast? Oh,
From D&D of Lore and Legend.
no, I don't know, but I know Jarrett does.
Oh, really?
Jared has a Yahoo?
Yeah, dude.
Because
and he defends it.
I know
No
that
offense, Jarrett.
I know that Mike either has a Yahoo or an AOL. I just remember it being something.
feel like Mike would have an
incredibly-
AOL.
Yeah.
Mike has an AOL.
It's just so
100% he has an AOL.
I'm excited. I want to have each of them on this show sometime because it would be fun to like talk about their D&D characters and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But someday.
Someday.
I just feel like Mike. Whoop, totally just spit. I just feel like Mike.
I did
would,
that during the other episode.
I saw. We all saw.
I felt horrible.
Luckily for you, though, it was just a little bit that way. I just like shot straight at the camera.
Oh no, mine actually hit the microphone.
Oh, gross. Well,
Ooh.
that's your mic.
Yeah, I
so
cleaned it up.
That's his mic from now on.
I
I'm
cleaned
sure
it up.
they're all full of a little bit of.
Spittle.
a little bit of
I was about to say urine for some reason.
Whoa, boy.
Saliva.
That would be very different.
I couldn't remember the scientific spit word, which is saliva, right? And I was like,
Right.
Spit, urine. No.
Same thing, really.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
all the same. Bodily fluids.
Bodily
Nope,
fluids.
not the same.
They're all
Blood,
the same.
urine, spit. Same thing.
Tea. So,
Tea.
Byron, where's your cool mug?
Yeah, what happened to it?
I left it.
Well, that was
Do you
from
want
last
it?
week.
No, I'm okay.
That was from last week.
Oh, it
so we
was
left
last
at home.
week's mug. You're right.
Last week's one.
Sorry, man.
I was drinking more water because I'm trying to increase my water, but then
Tea is water.
I mean,
it's kind of. It also has a diuretic in it.
they weren't supposed to
I
know,
love
but
diarrhea.
I have water. In mine.
I had a water.
I
bottle.
had tea last time, but no. Oh, he just got.
Oh, we just had it life flighted in.
Whoop.
And it's
Found
probably
it.
full, too, right?
Nope, it's empty. I now have a cold, empty mug in front of me. Nope, it's also out there.
That's a bummer. Well,
Hey.
you know, it gives you something to do with your hands.
Yeah, you get something to.
Oh wait,
Oh, no.
I'm having. Oh, I thought it was going
on
to.
out there?
I thought he was.
I thought I was
We
gonna
saw-
get life flighted my water bottle.
We
that's
saw
sitting
PUBG out there.
out
oh.
there.
PUBG again.
Oh, I just lost audio on my headphones. for a
Yeah, mine
second.
did. Mine popped too.
Mine did.
We good out there?
I still have
Hold
mine.
on, stand by.
Yeah? Audio's
Okay.
all good? Okay.
Cool.
It was weird. There's a quick little.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Hold on.
Nice.
Life
nice.
fli-
Life flight of water.
Oh, that's
So
not his.
that's mine, but we can.
Okay. So now we have another water bottle
No, don't
here.
worry. I haven't drank out of it yet. No, this will work.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
This will work, Shib.
We got this. We got
Wait,
this. Shit,
it's got a
we're
pour
good.
Oh, no.
And we're good again.
All right. Well, we're going to pour.
Pour one out.
Oh, ooh. Can you guys hear that?
Oh, let's do it in the microphone.
ASMR.
That did sound
That's some
pretty
nice
good.
stuff.
That sounded great.
That's some good
So-
stuff right there.
I now have.
Oh, wait. You ready? You got to get. I mean, like, you guys are all about this, right?
Oh yeah.
Sorry to dox you. POV, you just poured water into a mug.
Got him.
So now I have cold water in my. Mug.
That's fine. So does Levi.
Dude, I have
We're good.
cold water.
We're
I
good.
wasn't gonna say anything, but since everybody brought it up, yeah, I'm just drinking water now.
I want you to know I'm drinking hot tea. Dude, how would people not know? There's no tea bag. Well, I guess you can take it out.
He
I
put it in the
I-
microwave like 4 times because he's like, it's not gonna be hot enough once we start recording.
That is-
It has to be
I
hot the
like it
entire
to
time
be
that we
hot.
record. It has to be hot.
I like it to be
It's-
really
it's
hot.
already lukewarm. Like, I know it's steaming, but it's already not hot. It's warm. It gets really cold really fast, and I like hot tea.
His tongue
Dude, he
no longer.
kept putting it back into the microwave. We would like step over for like 30 seconds and
I
he was
did
like,
put it in twice. You're right.
I have to put it back in.
Because I put it in, it was piping hot, and then we took 10 minutes to talk about other stuff. And I was like, well, I want it to be hot, so I put it back in.
Yeah.
Put it back in. Put it back in.
Your
What can I say?
tongue must be so desensitized to heat.
Why?
If it's still steaming
It's
and you're like,
cold in here, dude.
okay,
That should
This
make
is the
it
coldest.
worse.
This is the what? No, that's why
no,
it's
that should
steaming.
make it hot. Oh, I
it
guess.
would. It could not,
But
as
it would
hot
taste
liquid.
hotter.
So in a 71 degree room,
Yeah.
this liquid may not steam. In a 50 degree room, it may steam.
Yes,
but it could be
but
the
it
same
will-
temperature. Thank you. I got a thumbs up. I win. None of you got
okay.
thumbs ups.
Dude,
Thumbs
I get
ups.
thumbs ups
I-
all the time.
I never
Not for
get
this.
thumbs up.
Not for this segment.
Not for this segment.
So
This was a planned segment. Yeah.
planned.
You get thumbs up all the time. You just can't see it.
I do.
Yeah. More than us actually.
Shibs, do you?
oh, I get
double
you got
thumbs.
Oh my
Two
goodness, you got 2 thumbs. All right.
Okay.
So,
As we said last week, backed by popular demand, hypotheticals.
oh,
hypothetical cults. Ooh, that's a good segment.
Hypothetical cults.
Dude, we should come up with
come up with hypothetical cults.
and call it hypothetical cult.
Hypothetical.
That is a YouTube gold.
We're trademarking that. Trademark.
UTI trademark. Sorry, under the influence trademark. Hypothetical cults. New segment coming in a future episode. Don't worry. Be ready. We're gonna come up with fun cults. Whoever can. We did that.
Shibbles, write that down.
Write that down. Write that down. Dude, I feel like.
We feel really loose. Today.
Yeah. Well, it's because we've done 2 episodes 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks
Yeah,
in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
So, hypothetical.
Yeah.
How many letters is that, Levi? 12.
I don't know.
So,
Jerry's like so fast.
Man.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Given the fact that we talked about a former U.S. president, some may consider a current U.S. president. Some people would. A former U.S. president, last episode. I purposely didn't put this hypothetical with that one because I feel like it would be too thematic.
Yeah.
Let's not be too crazy thematic. But they don't have to be presidents. If you could redesign Mount Rushmore, which 4 faces are you putting up there?
4 Trumps.
I tried to separate them so you wouldn't, but I knew if it was on that episode, Levi would go Trump, 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 and Trump. You know how much he loves this guy.
No, I wouldn't.
So we got Levi's.
That'd
Go
be
ahead,
so
Byron.
hilarious, though.
It would be kind of, dude. Which president would put 4 images of themselves doing different expressions? It would be
It
Trump.
would be Trump.
One, he'd be like, the next one, he'd be like, the next one, he'd be like,
And then the last one would be like the donkey,
the donkey.
the donkey teeth.
But you have the hands.
Oh, with hands.
With hands, each one, it's a head, and then little hands underneath.
His hands aren't that small.
No. But like little hands underneath
I know.
the figures.
But
of
like
them.
everybody said he had small hands, tiny hands or whatever.
I thought that he said that one time or something. I don't
No,
know.
I mean, people always made fun of him saying he had little hands. Like that was like a thing. Like when he was first, like
big hands.
he's got like tiny
Big
hands.
hands.
But it's just because he wears big suit coats.
It
But
is.
they are like proportionate to his big body.
Yeah.
Like I bet you if he,
I've got small hands, though.
yeah, if he,
Oh, my goodness.
put his hand over yours,
Just hide it entirely.
well, yeah, that would be insane. My dad has pretty big hands.
Your dad has very big
You
hands.
and my dad holding hands would already be funny, but but that would be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I have smaller hands than my dad, and they're sizably larger.
Gigantic.
They're not gigantic. My
I
hands
mean,
aren't gigantic.
Compared to Levi's,
Compared
Put
to
your hand up
Levi's,
the line.
anyone's hand is gigantic.
we're proportionally the same.
Wait, you have
No,
big
we're
hands?
not. The same. My fingers. are larger.
Proportionally, we're
have
really
to compare,
close.
We have to compare the hands. Let's compare these hands.
Oh,
On the camera?
they don't look that much different when they're
But when
okay.
They're pretty different.
Okay, so the hypothetical
Yeah,
is if
anyway.
you could redesign
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, and they don't have to be presidents. It's just like I want because what's the purpose of Mount Rushmore? To
what was the purpose of Mount
I don't know.
It was to
Shibbles,
give
you were there when it happened.
he was there. It was to give jobs to working men for getting out of the depression because that's when we did like the the state parks and we did the national stuffs.
private effort.
Was it fully private?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Because like
So
I knew that.
So it wasn't a government thing. It was a private thing.
yeah.
Okay,
For
that's
his
very
4
interesting.
let's
Oh,
just
okay.
assume it was his favorite 4 presidents, or he just. I would imagine he's because they're not like founding fathers.
No.
It's just like 4 influential presidents, probably 4 that he believed deserved to be memorialized, right?
Yeah.
So for the sake of this hypothetical, let's just assume, right, the purpose of Mount Rushmore is why is it called Mount Rushmore then? Is that his name? Who cares?
I think that was a mountain.
It was
Yeah.
just
The
the mountain.
name
It was-
of the
okay.
mountain.
So for the purpose of this, Mount Rushmore is to memorialize 4, in the opinion of the sculptors, influential figures. So if you were going to take 4 influential figures that you want people to remember for whatever reason, I don't know, it's up to you. What 4 people go up there? Now, you know, as the person who brought this hypothetical, if I was smart, I would have figured out my 4 already. I haven't. So go ahead, somebody.
4 influential.
Yeah, or people that
Faces.
you want other people to remember. Yourself, maybe.
No, not myself. No, definitely did not put myself up there.
Ezio from Assassin's
So-
Creed.
No.
Oh, can
I
we do
want
fake characters.
Characters, yeah.
So I want. Bringing it biblical. Jesus would be great.
Christ would be good, but that's
But
a
that's
whole
a-
other discussion.
that's
That's a whole other
entirely
discussion because
bag
then
of worms.
we don't know the actual face of Jesus, and then we also have the statue in Bolivia that is Jesus, and
Yeah.
we have all this stuff. So that one, I
about-
don't know.
How about the Father then?
Well, ooh, okay.
Even
so
No
less
one has
idea.
seen him. We'll make a mountain with
so we
his
just
face.
have a
It's
giant. We'll just make it a rock because that's the closest thing we can get because we don't know.
What?
Closest will just mean
No,
We have
anything is because we don't. yeah.
anything is.
and no. Then
God
we
the
just
Father.
make an image of Jesus because any who have seen me have seen the Father.
There you
That's
go.
true. We
Boom.
make Jesus.
But we don't know exactly what it looked like.
Exactly.
But we
So
have
the
an
whole
idea. We have an
purpose,
idea.
God,
Yeah.
Doesn't
for this
work.
reason, can't be included.
the Holy
Okay.
Spirit.
So. Oh shoot!
The one whose spirit
him.
is in the name.
Got him. Got him.
That was good. Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. First one that goes to my head, and I don't know why. Phineas and Ferb.
Well, because they do that in the show.
But they do
don't
that in the show, so
Yeah,
I'm like,
that makes sense.
Wait, they do that?
They do. They actually.
I don't
There's just
remember
like
that.
one
They
where
add.
they like.
They add an
Oh,
extra
they
face
add-
that's Phineas and Ferb.
I think they just add Ferb.
Do they add Ferb? Maybe they add Candace.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
It's
part
been
of
a
the
while.
intro. They add like something to the
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
So possibly them.
You're right. They are influential and deserving of being remembered. I mean, honestly, people. It's like a cultural.
Dude,
like people
Phineas
love
and Ferb,
that.
So good.
It's a good kid show.
So good. I don't know. I don't know of any like living real people that I would want to embodiment into a rock. Cause like I'm thinking
They don't have to be living. They can be dead.
I mean like
the ones
living
there are
or
dead.
dead.
Okay.
Like I don't know of
Yeah.
any like real people that should be embodied into a work of rock to say, hey, you should stay here forever for the rest of eternity.
Well-
as a remembrance of your face.
that's not why. It's not
But
to
that's
remember.
what I'm looking at. But
Yeah.
I'm
I'm asking
think
you,
that
like,
if you're like,
can you think of 4 people that you think it's worth? Like it's
idling
worth
them.
not idolizing.
no, it's
them,
not
but it's
idling
worth
them.
like.
but like I can see what you're coming
memorializing
from.
them.
So like, you wouldn't want to do like Billy Graham because I don't feel like he would want to have a monument
Yeah.
of himself.
No.
But I think that I think that it's perfectly fine to having like George Washington and what does that say?
Washington, Louisiana, and Carolina. Oh,
Wait,
William Lane Craig.
Okay.
No, but I still like, yeah, because I think that it's
He's going the direction I was going with it. Go ahead.
Oh, go.
No, say what you're saying, but it's funny that he said William Lane Craig.
Oh, okay. Because I wouldn't want to put like anyone like like those kind of philosophy,
Yeah,
like the evangelists and things, because
Joel Osteen,
he would want to.
Yeah.
Benny Hinn.
Dude, they would love it. But like the good ones,
Ooh, careful. Ooh. Just kidding.
I don't think that they would want to have themselves memorialized in that way because it would be raising themselves up and
Right. Fair
then having
point.
a monument of
Fair
themselves.
point. However, for the sake of a hypothetical, we're just saying they're not doing it of themselves. You
I would
are
feel
a
bad
sculptor.
doing that.
Okay, then don't do those
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
I'm saying you're a sculptor, so take that into account. You're a sculptor saying there's 4 people that to me are whatever inspirational, are worth remembering the deeds of, whatever reason we make sculptures of people.
Ooh.
Who are those 4 people on Levi's Mount Rushmore, on Byron's Mount Rushmore, on my Mount Rushmore?
Carolus Rex,
Who?
the king of Sweden,
Okay.
that literally never lost a battle until he got shot with grape shot to the side of his head from a cannon.
Okay. That's a bummer.
Dude, but he was incredible. He like created a fighting force that was all Christians. They were all like diehard Christianity, and that was built into their training. In that they, instead of like forming lines and like firing all their muskets, they would go until they were within like range of the enemy guys, and then they would take their first volley. Those guys would stand back, grab out their rapiers, first guy, and then the next volley would go, and then they would just charge into combat because they were like, if God wants us to die, then we'll die, and it would cause so much fear and terror into the combat the other people, that they would just start to turn away, and then they would just like run them down with their rapiers. Charlemagne was pretty cool.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I think that having like the American like founding guys and like influential presidents was also like, I think it's a good choice to have a American monument being like George Washington. Who else is on it?
Teddy, Abe, George, and Nixon, I think.
No, but I was thinking if we had one that was like we have all the great ones, and then we could have like all the infamous ones. We could have like a Truman, Nixon, Reagan.
Good point.
Like
I can think
Obama,
I can think of
Bush.
2 for mine.
Okay, who do you got?
Mr. Rogers,
Oh yeah.
Number 1.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying I'm not putting him on mine.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
probably-
I wouldn't put him on mine, but I think that would be like
To me,
one
I
of
just,
those things.
I just want to see them
I
make an
wouldn't put-
afro out of stone. That would be
pretty cool.
So mine,
and they'll have a happy little tree growing out of the top.
No, they have to make it so much smaller because the rock face doesn't come out enough to line up with the rest of them.
Yeah.
So his face is just small, and then everybody else's is normal.
I think if you're going like military heroes, there's that guy during World War II that I don't know his name, but he was Canadian and just absolute boss. Like goes in by himself, saves all these people. I think like on the beaches of Normandy or something like that. Like he's on his own. That's World War II, right? Yeah. It's just like, what if I just totally? And he's just like a really like lesser known guy. Like didn't really get recorded a lot in history, but he's just this Canadian guy who I'm pretty sure was just like living on his own in the woods. And they're like, we need everybody. And he's like, all right, I'll go fight. And all these people are dead. All these people are captured in an enemy camp. And he just goes in and he essentially, from what I understand, is like picking off guards like on his own, like sneaking around in the dark and then like causing ruckuses here and there. And so they're going and investigating them, like straight up Solid Snake stuff, rescues all the men. And then eventually they end up winning the battle. So nobody knows. I don't know what he looks like. Don't even remember his name. He would be a cool one. But if we're going military heroes, but I maybe I wouldn't include that one actually. Number 1 though, Mr. Rogers. Number 2, Cliff Nechtel. I think the William Lane Craig thing was really spot on because I was thinking like people that I think are kind of in the cultural zeitgeist a little bit right now that I really like. And he's one that I quite like. I think he's just a pretty good example of like a debater. He really cares about pulling like knowledge out of people, being like, hey, I want to get you to ask important questions. And he's an evangelist. So he's kind of my favorite evangelist on that forefront right now. So those are the 2 I thought of.
Would you put like actors?
But then I was thinking like, are there any like good
Christopher
actors?
Lee?
I wouldn't put him because I don't care that much about him, but like that's a reasonable one.
Oh.
Christopher Lee's cool.
I don't know.
Peter Jackson made the best trilogy of all trilogies.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not American, but this isn't about America. This is just your Mount Rushmore. 4 people. So I think to end the hypothetical, like spout off the first 4 people you think, whatever. And then even if you would rethink it later, whatever. So mine's Mr. Rogers. What did I say? Mr. Rogers, Cliff Nechtel. Oh my goodness. Henry Cavill. Cool actor.
Henry Cavill.
Cool actor. I don't think he's a believer. I can't endorse everything I think he's ever done. But you know what? For being a jacked
Brendan
dude
Fraser.
who's super, super famous, man, he loves nerd stuff. D&D, Warhammer, video games. And he talks a lot about chivalry and trying to be a good, like a gentleman again. So he's cool. And then 4, let's try and pick a different sphere of things. Brandon Sanderson. Yeah. No. Christopher Paolini.
Okay.
Christopher Paolini?
He's the one that wrote Aragon, my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I am a huge Brando Sando head. Like Cosmere, love it. However, my main man,
back.
Christopher Paolini, wrote the Aragon series. Love it. I know that the first book isn't that great. It's good, but it's not the best writing ever. But those books are amazing. And Sanderson's great. And he's doing great, cool things. All these interconnected worlds and stuff. So, so cool. But Christopher Paolini likes to wear fun hats. So that would be on there too. I don't know if you've seen, but every tour thing he goes on, whatever, he always wears like a big Buccaneers hat or like a tricorn hat or something just because it's pretty cool. So there's my 4. So what did I say? Mr. Rogers, Cliff Nechtel, Henry Cavill, and Christopher Paolini. My 4 on my Mount Rushmore. I'm done. You're up.
Oh, shoot. Go.
So I'm either doing a themed one,
Okay.
and we're doing Lord of the Rings.
Cool.
So 4 main characters from Lord of the Rings
As depicted in the movie, or
as depicted in the movie.
so by their actors.
I'm going by their
So Viggo Mortensen.
but it's not it's not just the actors up there. It's like
It's them in character.
It's them in
Yes,
character.
but I just meant to say it's not like a representation of them from the books. It is the character from the movie.
yeah,
So
I'm gonna
Viggo
go with that
Mortensen
because
as
that's a little bit
Aragorn.
more scene.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or we go Star Wars.
Well, who would be your 4 from Lord of the Rings?
Oh,
The four main, he said.
Gandalf,
who are the four
Frodo, Sam, and
Whoa.
And Aragorn.
I think Aragorn.
Okay,
No,
so
yeah,
4
that would be
favorites.
my 4.
I think
okay,
I would
let's do
rather.
discussion.
Well, actually,
Top 4
no.
characters
Hold on.
from Lord of the Rings?
Actually,
hold
no.
on.
Frodo doesn't make the mix for me.
So I chose Frodo because Frodo has probably the biggest decisions he has to make.
And in like he's the
He's
title kind
influential.
of character.
So okay, 4 favorite characters from Lord of the Rings.
This should
has
be
to
a different conversation.
That's totally different conversation.
That's a future
So-
hypothetical. Write that
future
down. Write that
hypothetical.
down.
Director.
Director?
So
The director is my favorite character.
no. And then the other theme would be Star Wars, but it would be Yoda, Obi-Wan, old Obi-Wan,
So, but Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi. So Ben Kenobi, Yoda. I'm debating on Luke. I don't know.
Really?
You're debating on Luke?
I don't know. Luke. Kinda
So
has,
whether pro or against Levi's for sure, apparently.
the problem is like
Well,
Who else would you have?
Luke is good. I want Han.
so Luke and Han. Boom. That's easy. Those two are great.
But he also wants Chewie.
I just want Chewie.
Is that really it?
Or Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon?
Not Qui-Gon. Sorry, not Qui-Gon.
No, I mean, that's Qui-Gon's
shoot.
cool, but
Palpatine?
No.
describe them.
Mace Windu?
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel Jackson, baby.
Mace Windu's. Do you? Is that
I
what you
would-
like his
I
character?
would put Darth Maul.
I
would
like
put Darth Maul before Mace Windu every single day of the week.
Mace Windu.
Between bald characters in the movies,
Dude,
better.
why not Darth Vader?
I thought about that too.
Main character, the whole story.
Darth Vader would be good. I liked Mace Windu purely because he had a purple lightsaber. That's
Yeah,
honestly why I
everything,
liked him.
yeah.
But here's the thing: he only did
character's
he
annoying, though.
He only did the point. He only did the shoot or shoot. What's his name?
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson only did it if he could, because he convinced him to have a.
Yeah,
purple
he's like, I'm
lightsaber.
not going to do the
He was
movie.
like, I'm not going to do it unless I get like a cool cover. Like, cool. Do they have
lightsaber.
purple?
Well, I
And it's
think
just like,
he kind of said that, but then I have heard him tell the story where they bring out all these lightsabers and they're like, he's like, can mine be purple? And then George Lucas is like, I don't think why not. I mean,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. So like, see, like that right there is like that's why it's cool. Other than that,
Yeah.
on the character wise.
I do love that the implication of this world of Star Wars. There's all like these people with all these different lightsabers, and there's one dude with a purple one.
Yeah.
Like
But
I think in some extended comic book they kind of talk
shoot,
like, make
what's
it
his
like
name?
a cool thing, but
Like Leia gets in the comic books extended series. Leia gets a white lightsaber.
Yeah, a few people
and
have
then
whites.
There's some black lightsaber. There's one black lightsaber out there. There's all these other colors. There's yellows.
okay. Well, now we're getting into different topics. So you're for
Anyway,
if it's but you need to pick one. What for the sake of this
Lord of the
hypothetical?
Rings. Gonna go Lord of the Rings.
So you're
with
gonna
the
do
face.
4 Lord of the Rings characters.
4 Lord of the Rings
Solid
characters.
choice,
I feel like
and they
that's-
are Aragorn, Gandalf, Frodo, and Sam.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I love Sam.
I mean, who doesn't?
Sam has to be in there.
I do like.
The way my brain works is I kind of want to like spread things out a little bit.
I
And
wanted-
There's a fly just flew right in front of the camera.
I hate it.
I wanted to actually do like the whole trilogy as they walk across the shot where they're walking across. And that's what I would. That's what I would do.
4K,
Not
sorry.
faces.
Yeah, no, 4 faces. It's Mount Rushmore. We're recreating Mount
faces.
Rushmore. Go.
I can do whatever.
So Carlos Rex, Charlemagne.
Uh-huh.
Dude, for the other two, I like if I'm staying on topic, then like Napoleon.
Okay. So his.
I mean, it's a little less. It's less because Napoleon isn't like as like Christ centered as like the other two.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. It would be funny to have Christopher Lee because
Yeah.
he and Charlemagne, he's related to Charlemagne, and he also looks incredibly similar, based on all the portraits.
So you just some people are like, oh, those 2 different guys.
yeah.
Ooh. Never mind.
What?
Ted Cruz.
Ted Kaczynski. No.
I don't even know who that is.
That's the Unabomber.
Oh right. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
John Heder,
who's that?
actor. Napoleon Dynamite.
Dude, that'd be funny.
It's funny to have like this like Christ-centered, influential figures, and then Napoleon, so like influential like war, time leader, all this stuff, and then Napoleon Dynamite, the character.
It'd be so funny. It's just the like falling off.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I George Washington. Sure.
Yeah. Solid choice. Okay, cool.
All right.
Fun hypothetical. You tell us in the comments below, or on Discord, which discord.gg/Christian Influence. Hang out with us there. Go to the Under the Influence channel and you can chat with us. Let us know what would you can theme it like Byron did. I kind of just was like 4 people I think are cool or have some reason to have some respect for.
Or you
whatever.
can go half and half like I did.
Or you can go half and half like Levi did. Yeah. So tell us, what is you're creating Mount Rushmore. Who are the 4 people you're putting on it?
I'd put Barmer up there though.
Barmer?
Okay, quick discussion. Now, this is the Lord of the Rings character. No, we're not doing that. Let's save it.
We'll talk about it next week.
We got other stuff, and it's already been like 20-something minutes.
Okay. Let's talk about Levi's newspaper.
Yeah, last week we brought this up.
This week in the news. Not really this week, but in 1927. Oh, no.
This week in the news.
It's a big book.
It's getting worse.
Oh, it's getting so bad. Here we go.
Okay, so
please read to us. What day are we at?
June 6, 1924. Oh, not 27. I'm sorry, 1924. Fire setter phantom is fired upon.
A fire setter phantom?
Mysterious figure reported third time as possible school blaze suspect. Ooh. By a time staff correspondent in Venice. So this is all happening in Venice, right? June 5th. For the third time, Special Officer Eddie Kodani, a patrolman in the Villa City district, has turned in a report about a mysterious woman wandering along Grand Canal Avenue and attempting to set fire to structures there. His last encounter was tonight when Sheriff Traeger, under Sheriff Biscalia's, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the names right, Deputy Hunter and Detectives Burnett and Watterson, they're all dead now, were lying in wait nearby, watching for a reappearance of the phantom figure in the hope that it might lead to an explanation of the Hope Development School fire in Playa del Rey. Kodani fired 7 shots into a vacant home. The officers nearby made a quick investigation, but were unable to corroborate his statement that he had seen the woman inside. He was like,
well have been
he thought he saw her in there.
So he just like bang, bang, bang,
fired
bang, bang.
7 times into a vacant home, and then they couldn't corroborate that anyone else saw the person in there. Right?
So they died on that? Or?
The first encounter, according to Kodani's reports, occurred the night following the Playa del Rey fire. He said he fired several shots at the woman when he saw her setting fire to a house. He just started opening fire.
It was a different time in 1924.
The next encounter occurred Wednesday night. He said when she hid beside a house and attempted to shoot him as he passed on his regular rounds.
What?
Again, he said he shot several times, walking with his half-brother, H. Kruko. Tonight, he said he saw her inside the vacant house and began firing immediately. Sheriff Traeger conferred with the local police as Kodani was making his third report. A full investigation is underway.
Well, that's this week in the news, everybody. 1924 LA was wild.
But isn't that wild? He sees somebody setting fire the first time. He's like looking around. Somebody set fire to this school.
Yeah.
And he's just like, huh. And he sees a woman starting a fire. So he just starts firing at her. She runs off. The next day, he's just doing his rounds. He's walking around. And then she starts firing at him. He starts shooting back. And then the full patrol is around. And they're like, what's going on? And then he sees her in a vacant house, starts shooting. Nobody else sees it.
That's wild. You heard it here first.
Yes. In 1924.
I mean, a lot of the people listening probably did hear first.
Oh, I'm sure. I saw it first on that page.
Yeah.
But it's just a wild time.
Fly.
You know?
That's right. Fly away.
We've killed
so
7.
We've killed like 7 today.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
Yeah, I think that's wild. Just firing into houses because you think that you see this woman that you thought you saw the other day starting a fire.
I think...
and when somebody's just starting a fire,
yeah,
he just starts shooting.
Well, wouldn't you? They're going to kill kids.
You're not going to try and just like, hey, what are you doing?
Maybe he did. We don't know that he didn't.
We don't know all the
It
details.
said he opened fire after he saw her. That could still be true, even if he did say, hey, quit what you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
But the way it's reported doesn't sound like it.
No, it doesn't sound like that.
I think it'll be really funny if we ever do, keep doing the segment, right? And someone's like, oh, I read that. Or like, I've heard that. Like that.
No, but it's also crazy. He's also just doing his patrols and she starts firing at him because he's been trying to
LA's
shoot
not
at
a
her.
small town.
No, this is in Venice.
Oh.
The correspondent from Venice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Venice. Where's Venice? Like in Italy?
In Italy.
Venice.
Or is it like Venice Beach?
No, it's
Oh, it could be Venice Beach.
It's probably. Why would we be reporting on something in Italy?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's Venice Beach.
Yeah.
It might be Venice.
Because if this is
I
the
don't know.
LA
it all just
Times,
says Venice.
it's probably in California.
If we can find where those schools are that got burnt to the ground.
Did it reference them by name?
Yeah, and they're all like
Well.
Del Rey stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely
Playa del
California.
Rey is in California.
It's definitely California.
All right. Then it might just be in California. I'm just a dummy.
No, you're not dumb. It makes sense because it's
No,
not
but
saying
it is-
Venice Beach, but I think
But yeah, it is still just wild.
it would be. Can you imagine if they're like, so we have a correspondent in Venice, Italy, and apparently this happened, and we're going to report on it. That'd be like what? I mean, you guys really must be running out of options. Like nothing's going on in LA, huh?
I mean, this entire like headline, like page, is all just tiny little stories. Like they didn't have anything
news
big.
day.
It's very slow, so they were just like scrounging up all the little things.
Maybe they were. Yeah, they're like, and also over in Sweden, some guy robbed a bakery. Like, oh yeah, this really helps. This is really interesting. Cool. Well, this week in the news, you heard it here first, folks. Again, like we said last week, if you want Levi to flip through, do you want to quickly explain what that is for those who didn't hear last week? It's this book you got.
For those that weren't here, I got this incredible book. It's the front page of the Los Angeles Times from historical events and just random ones.
Whatever
from
was on the front page.
1881 to 1989. It doesn't have every single front page, but it has a lot of them.
So if there's a date that you're curious about between those years, a month and year, just drop it in the comments, and if it's interesting,
And
we'll read it.
I can find the closest
Something interesting
month to it.
If there's
that we can
nothing
find.
interesting on it, then sorry.
Then you're done. You're cut. You can't post anymore.
But we have something else that, like last week, I had a video that I brought. Not sure if you guys had seen it, and I'm pretty sure from what I've heard, you guys haven't seen this one either. I thought we could go to our roots a little bit. In the past we've been like, we will talk about video games from time to time, and really since season 1, episode 2 or whatever, we haven't talked a lot about. Every now and then video games come up, and that's great. But this is pretty thematic, and lines up pretty well. I've just been interested in this video game coming up, and it's not the one that I have a trailer here for you. You know what? I'm not going to give it too much preamble. This is a video game trailer that I want you guys to watch, and let me know what you think.
Okay, here we go.
Hit it.
Many people have attempted to write about the things that have taken place among us. Reports of these things were handed down to us. There were people who saw these things for themselves from the beginning. They saw them and then passed the word on.
So this is
that was
I was
really
trying to get right before that, but that's fine. This is on the IGN YouTube channel, just so you know. So I want to make sure we cut in some
So
color
it
commentary
is,
here, but also mainstream channel has advertised this. Like it looks clearly like an indie game or something, but still,
I mean, FanFest, they do a lot of indie games.
that's true. Yeah, that's right. It's the FanFest 2023. This is old news for people watching. Like a lot of you probably already saw this, but you guys said it seemed like you guys hadn't heard it. So
No.
go for it. Yeah, so that left
With
side
this
says
in
walk on
mind,
water.
I myself have carefully looked into everything from the beginning.
I'm Simon. This is my brother, Andrew. We're trying to catch fish.
Okay.
Stop.
What's up?
I'm getting really a lot of audio. And
It does
can't hear
seem
you
like
guys
it's
at all.
louder than the video we did last week a little bit.
I can't hear you. I can't hear the boys at all.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It doesn't have to be super loud for the listener or the watcher or whatever.
But
so
so
we need to describe a little bit for the listener. Some people aren't watching.
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
better if you watched this podcast. We do some video reactions and stuff every now and then. But what we're seeing is a POV, like first person shot of these glowing blue hands.
are you playing as Jesus?
That's what I'm picking up on?
Well, for those that can't read in the top left corner, the name of this game is I Am Jesus Christ.
That is,
I thought that was like, you're going to be an apostle.
yeah. But okay,
Wouldn't that be something?
the opening shot is like you see the back of Jesus or what we think could be Jesus.
It might have been, yeah.
It might have
And, like,
been.
you, like,
it might have
watch
been
him.
John the Baptist.
Could be John the Baptist. Just looking up at the sky and you're like coming into the shot.
Yeah.
That was weird.
But then
And
it's like, hey, I'm Simon.
and then everything else has been first person.
And then you're like
First person, like there was a thing though. that
looking
said-
in the water and bringing.
So the
fish
very
in.
first shot, like it shows you like waking up and walking out of a room or like
Yeah.
out of a house. The current quest objective said Jesus is or the awakening of Jesus.
Yeah.
And then the objective underneath it was maybe I should speak to my mother, like stuff like that. So like
And
so,
like, this is water to wine.
Water
turn
to
each-
there was one that said like walk on water.
Walk on water.
And then he was like, hey, I'm Simon, and it showed him. So these glowing blue hands are like in the screen, and I'm imagining this is like your miracle form. If you need to perform a miracle
Yeah.
in the game, it brings forward these blue glowing hands, and then it showed spots on the water that a ball of light was like over.
And
So
it
he's-
was like fish coming like
Yeah.
to it or something.
so that was probably him, getting all the fish
Yeah.
to demonstrate to Simon Peter. But yeah, so and right now it says water to wine, and you're about to see. Go ahead, you can play it.
I'm afraid the wedding appears to have a small issue. I don't know, but I thought you might be able to help.
That's the voice of Mary.
It also feels like we're in a dream.
Wine is better than the wine we had before.
Okay, pause it. This wine is better than the wine we had before. Like,
Do you also see like the vignetting around it? It kind of makes you look like you're in a dream state, moving around.
Yeah.
just wait. So right here, he's standing. The thing says the raising of Lazarus. He's standing in front of a tomb.
Oh my goodness.
Look at his
Dude,
broken
he's
hand.
using
He actually has real hands this time versus
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
big glove.
so
Weird,
so
right?
he's
Just
using what is it? BioShock. He's using because it looks like your hands in BioShock whenever you're using any of the what do they call them? The plasmids.
I don't know.
I don't know. None of us have played Bioshock.
You genetically change yourself and you gain power over like lightning or ice or fire.
Okay,
And like the ability to like telekinesis. But your hands like are just like this. And then whenever you're like doing anything, you're like
Yeah, his hands are like.
And it's just
the
like-
left one looks all broken.
Yeah.
but
I think it's the light.
because I think it's the power
Shadowing.
coming back from it, but it looks so much like BioShock.
So he's stretching his hand out like, like,
Twisting the rock.
and the rock is going to be opening. But wait, I want to pause on when it changes. You'll know there's a significant change to the scenery that's about to happen. And I want us to pause on that, Shib, just so you know. So go for it. And right.
Please,
Oh,
Lord.
I guess I was wrong.
heal
Maybe
my
it comes
son.
up in a second. Oh, here it is.
oh, you're
so-
in the blood. Oh my gosh, you're in the.
Not in the blood.
There was a blood. Those are blood cells.
Oh, you're right.
You're
those
in-
are those.
you're
those-
in the
You're in the
veins.
veins. It's
Yeah.
just blood cells, and you're making a
Fire
miracle
lights
inside the
healing
blood.
of the royal officials. Can you just like with the arrow keys just back 5 seconds or whatever real quick for me or yeah, where okay. Go
So-
again. One more time for me. Back to Lazarus. I think okay, play it here.
Was it at Lazarus?
I remember seeing a part that said like
Please,
no, it
Lord,
wasn't. It's
just
so he's
heal my son.
Pause
from
it
far
here.
away. So yeah, so we know this story, right? He's far away. He's
Yeah,
healing,
and
this is the
he's-
healing
and
of the
he's healing-
centurion's son or
yeah,
whatever, right?
Because like he's teleporting.
Because it looks like
Because he says, because we know Christ like said to him, or essentially he was already healed, and he's like, "Go back, your son is healed,"
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
right? So in this is him like using his mind. He doesn't have to be there, which is one of the incredible, like, well, everything about Christ was incredible, right? But that was like this miracle was specifically incredible because they're like, "Whoa, you don't even have to be there to do it," right? It's like, well, of course he doesn't. He's the Son of God, but to demonstrate to people, like that was incredible. So
but in this, he's like droning in,
Yeah,
and then,
and then-
entering the bloodstream,
Yeah,
and then
so go
you're
ahead and play.
fighting.
play it again. So yeah, enters the bloodstream of the child.
That's blood cell right there.
Yeah, finalizing healing. Ugh.
Lord, if it's you,
There's, I don't remember where it was, but
tell me to come to you on the
so
wall.
walking on water,
Catching away this
clearing the storm.
Clearing the storm, yeah.
So I think
The Last Supper.
all these like
They're
people
all
with
sitting
little-
at chairs.
They're all
though.
just sitting there.
They wouldn't.
I
Yeah.
am doing this
I don't know,
for
it's just-
you. I want you to know that the things you have been taught are true.
So can you go back? Oh man, I don't like the. Can you go back though to the wine or something? It's just hard for us to read it from this far away. But there's a part. Okay, yeah, play here.
Brother Andrew. We're trying to catch fish.
Maybe it's before this.
What are you looking?
Oh.
What are you looking for?
I'm afraid the wedding appears to have a
Okay.
small issue.
A part that says something about the spirit mode. I remember seeing one that's like a spiritual dimension or something.
This wine is better
right
than
after
the
this
The
movie.
wine manager.
Right here. Pause. Okay, well, right
there it is. There it is.
There it is.
So just go
it's
back
literally
like
the
a
very
hair.
beginning of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, play it,
So
and then
hit-
as soon as it cuts to the tomb, pause it.
We're asking you to do a ton of things, Shibs.
Yeah,
You can do
sorry.
it. Keep going.
As soon as it goes to the tomb, you're gonna
better
pause
than
it.
the wine we had before.
And
Pause.
there.
Pause.
Okay. Spiritual dimension. While in the spiritual dimension, you can activate interaction ability while still using your current ability. Go ahead and select it in the ability wheel and use it to move the stone. Okay, it's hard to read from here. Sorry. But the gamification of Christ's miracles, it's uncomfortable.
Does not make me feel good.
No,
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
It's,
I don't like it.
it's-
What happens when you fail
what
a mission?
happens when you
Great
fail a
question.
mission?
What happens when you fail a mission? Yeah, like that's so
That-
true. I mean, maybe you can't.
You
in
can't.
This game.
It's an unlosable game.
But what if it is? No, it's not a game. Then it's a visual novel. Then
Yeah.
Well, you could say the same thing about a lot of other games. There's
Sure.
a lot of games that you can just say that they're visual novels because
but like
they're all just
already
cutscenes.
there's like a yes, but like I'm just saying it doesn't look maybe like
Yeah.
when you're playing Spider-Man, for example, and it already kind of takes you out of it a little bit when you're like when you like this fictional character and you know that they're like super powered, and then you just get like the health bar punched to the face and then you knocked. It's like, well, Spider-Man would get knocked out by a punch from some loser. Well, certainly Christ himself, right? Can you fail in this game and then like lose a mission? Like, what would that look like? And also, I don't think that that's respectful.
Yeah.
No.
So
I mean, it has to just be like people are just standing there waiting.
yeah,
And then I see that as like, I don't expect them to have a punch feature, but someone's gonna go try to abuse it and make Jesus do something wrong.
true. You modders,
Modders are gonna try to make
Yeah.
Jesus do something wrong, which is sin. Like,
but people
like
can do that already.
Yeah, they can do it already, but I just don't like the representation that we could have.
I'm just excited for the Assassin's Creed mode when they pick up stones to stone him, and then you have to like stealth through the crowd and get out, and they can't touch you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen any more footage. I saw in 2023 when this trailer went live, and I was like, oh my goodness. But I was reminded of it because of something else. But like, I don't know. Like, how do we feel about it? Is it just uncomfortable,
It makes
or
me feel
do we
really
think it's wrong?
It makes me feel really uncomfortable, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I think it would have been, if you want to do this, then make you have yourself be one of like the apostles or something.
Yeah, or
great idea.
or you do it as a
Like, and there is a way to actually fail. Oh no, the fly's
Stupid
doing it in front
fly,
of the
dude.
cameras.
the fly's back. If you can see him in the shot,
We're sorry.
we will kill him.
You can?
shortly.
Is it really bad?
So word is he's
Dude,
huge.
Should we pause it and try and
What-
kill this fly real quick?
What do you think, Shibbles?
Mission accepted to what?
'Kay,
Pause
To
it?
pause it.
We're pausing the episode.
So,
So we just
ladies and gentlemen,
we just killed the fly.
yeah, I took care of the fly.
Ugh. Still picking it out of your teeth?
It's gross.
You don't smell it. All right.
All right. As long as I can't see it on camera.
Anyway.
Yeah, fly's gone. Levi took.
Yeah.
What we were talking about was the gamification
Yes.
of Christ's miracles.
I
Uncomfortable?
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. Like,
Like what you were saying, a better, so if we want to make a Bible game, a better Bible game would maybe be one that we've talked about this too before, I think, writing Christ into fiction, or writing God, right, into fiction. We talked about like fictional stories. If you want to have God in it, like, are you putting him in a box? Is it okay? You know?
and like if you do one of not the 12, but one of the other disciples, like the followers at the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
you can have those guys, you witness things that Jesus did, and then you go and you try to emulate Jesus in like different things, and you can try to cast out demons, and then you fail.
Yeah. Or
Like you can have a fail state of like, oh, I'm not strong enough. You return to Jesus, and he's like, well, you couldn't do that because your faith was too small.
Jesus sends out the disciples, not the 12, but all the disciples to go prepare the way for him. And he tells
70,
them, the 70, and go like, dust your feet off if you don't like this town. Yada, yada, yada. That's what you have to do. You have to go to the towns that Jesus is going to be going to and preparing the way. And then you have to make the decision. Is this a town that is worthy? Is this a town that's not worthy?
I think
Like, it doesn't mean that you get to decide whether they're worthy or not, but it's like, I don't know.
I don't know how fun these would be in general.
No.
As for like it, just entertainment value,
Yeah.
I think that they can be glorifying to God.
They'd
and
be more
showing
respectful.
His power and respectful, and like you get to like play these things out, and you could do it like to like teach kids that can't sit down, because like video games, you can learn them like ADHD kids. They can have a much easier time learning things through those means.
Yeah, I think I would be curious to know who's behind that game. Like, is it somebody who's just like, money grab, Christians will eat this up. Let's make a video game about Jesus. Or is it someone making fun of Jesus? Or is it somebody like not really thinking that it's disrespectful and doing their best? I don't know. Maybe that would have been something I should have researched before having us watch that video. But regardless, yeah, I would agree. It feels a little, but I guess maybe why? Like, it feels a little disrespectful. I don't like the title, I Am Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you play as Jesus.
Yeah. But, well, so whether we're right or not about it being disrespectful or whatever, it feels a little uncomfortable. But you did propose an idea for like what would be a better game. I'm going to show you something we can compare it to. This is a game coming out soon that's currently in beta test, and I have the beta downloaded. So I haven't played it, but this one's called Gate Zero. Let's go watch this trailer and tell me what you think.
My magnificent ultimate time machine is ready. Let's travel back in time and solve Grandma's mystery.
Go on an epic journey, it said, to ancient Israel.
We need to get back to Jerusalem, to the early years of Jesus' life, to figure out these riddles.
Unlock riddles to unravel an age-old
Are you
secret.
looking for someone?
Yes, young man, we are looking for a son.
Oh.
So that was Mary and Joseph.
That Mary and Joseph when they got
A story-rich Bible exploration game.
This is Max, and he is looking for Yeshua.
Would you be able to help me? I left the gate open for just 1 second.
Let's catch some lambs.
help the locals and stay out of trouble.
What is that?
Wait, what?
People of Jerusalem.
Just classic.
What do
Yeah.
you want me to do with this man you say is king of the Jews?
So that's, and there's the crucifixion.
All within a time machine.
Gate Zero. So we didn't really pause it and talk about it, but
That actually, I think, would be a much better game.
Yeah, it's an interesting, like,
I mean, it's Assassin's Creed.
it's
plot, right?
It's Assassin's Creed.
Like,
You're going back in time, like
It's a biblical Assassin's Creed.
yes,
a biblical Assassin's Creed.
But you don't assassinate one.
that we know of.
Well, you assassinate that jar.
You do break
The rock.
So from the trailer, we do break a jar.
We see an assassination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it's. I mean, it feels more respectful. I don't know how like it actually will
we
play
haven't
out.
seen it play.
We haven't seen like full gameplay.
It's currently in beta, so there's from what I've heard, a decently extensive beta you can play, and the footage is all out there. Like there's like people like 4-hour long gameplays of the beta, and there's a lot of bugs right now because it's like it's a wish list game on Steam, and but this blew up in popularity because they did like a social media campaign that's I think over now because I don't see it anymore. But I saw it scrolling through Instagram, probably like 30 times in a week.
Really?
Now, it's probably because like my Instagram algorithm
Is more
knew that like I liked watching Bible stuff and commentary, but like still, dude, it was coming up a lot. And a ton of people I know were sending me things about it. Like, dude, have you seen this game? Have you seen this game? And so it was kind of everywhere for a little bit. It got a lot of popularity. I don't think they're still doing that social media campaign anymore because that might have been like around the time where you could get the beta, but it's still out. So I thought, it would be fun. I'll maybe play it and then come back and talk about it. That would be cool. Or maybe try and get some footage of me playing it. Maybe I'll stream it sometime, and then if there's anything interesting that happens, I can bring that footage and we can watch it.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, so I thought it was cool that you identified like, what if this is a game that existed? This would be a better one. The cool thing about that is, I wonder if this will be a part of it, because I hadn't considered this at all until you said, or until the failure element came up. This is a game where, of course, you could fail because you're not playing as Jesus, but also I wonder if they'll put into it like, hey, you're going back in time. Make sure you don't change anything that happened. If that's part of that, also could be an element of failure because they're like, we don't want you to change anything.
Yeah. And then if you rush up and be like, no, pilot, don't do that. And then it's like,
you failed because we know.
It's like Assassin's Creed desyncing when you kill too many civilians.
Because they're like, I would hope if they do that, then the idea is that the two people going back in time are believers. And like, we don't want to try and change
Well, it sounds like they're unbelievers wanting to discover whether their grandma was correct or not.
Yeah. Maybe. So I've seen another trailer that has like their grandma gives them this. She's like this set of riddles about the time period or something that they're trying to solve a secret. So it could be that they're going back thinking that maybe they're treasure hunters.
Da Vinci
or something.
Code.
Something like this secret that they're going to go back and figure out, or maybe like just calling it. Maybe the secret is just like the gospel. Like they reach the end. They're like, oh, the whole time it was just grandma trying to teach us that this was true. Who knows? What the point is. Or maybe it's like they are believers. They believe
the real treasure was the Jesus we met along the way.
Literally. Yeah. Or they're believers and there is some like auxiliary secret that they're going to find out.
They're going to find Jesus' wife and children.
No.
And then figure out who they are in the current time.
No,
it's not Da Vinci Code.
No. Is that what the Da Vinci Code is about?
Yeah, that's the ending of the Da Vinci Code.
Oh, spoiler alert. I mean, I've never seen it.
It's pretty close.
Well.
They find that he had a wife and children.
Yeah, and it's been like a heavily guarded secret that like he's stumbling upon, that like they've been like they know like the entire lifeline genealogy of like from Jesus to like this person in real life.
So there's someone in the movie that's the descendant of Christ?
Yeah. And then
Have you not seen the Da Vinci Code?
You really haven't seen the Da Vinci Code? Okay.
No, isn't that Denzel Washington?
No, it's like Tom Hanks, right? Yeah.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I haven't. I know when I was younger, my dad was like, that movie is not. He was like, that movie's not very Christian. Oh, and so we're not going to watch it. And so then I just never went and watched it.
I mean, it's adding a whole bunch of like.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Christian at all.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Not
it's about as Christian as Supernatural is. Like they reference the Bible.
I mean, I
and
think
stuff.
it's more Christian than Supernatural.
There's more reference and more scripture kind of talked about.
Despite adding to this idea that Jesus was married and had children, does it at least represent Jesus in a realistic way or no?
Not really. I mean, it doesn't it's just adding to Jesus, basically. Adding all of these other elements. It's been a hot minute since I've seen it. 15 or 16 or something.
Well, about this game.
Let's go back to the game.
The cool thing about it, like we've talked about this on the show before, the like sleeper agent thing or like Christians in media, right? Like I don't think Christians need to be doing sleeper agent things like trying to get into media subversively and then be like, surprise, I'm a Christian. But like if you're in media and you're a Christian and people don't know, like you should tell people. But this is a great example of like Christians should be making good media, right? And I think that this game kind of is similarly, if this is their mission, but it kind of looks like it, like to make a game that might be quality, might be fun, and can be about being a believer or about Christ or something, right? And we're trying similar things at Christian Influence, right? Like part of our idea is like, hey, kids, especially today, but just young people online. They're online. What are the things that they're doing? Well, they're just hanging out on Discord. Well, let's have a Christ-centered place there. They're listening to podcasts and watching podcasts. Let's have a Christ-centered podcast. They're playing D&D and listening to D&D podcasts. Let's have one with a bunch of Christians that's clean, right? So it's like, how can we be Christians and do these things? And there's some things that we don't need to do and be Christians as, because they may be wastes of time. But then, is it worth doing them here? And the great thing with the D&D podcast is that was a question I had a lot. Like, am I just trying to find a way to just keep doing something I like and justify it? I didn't think so. And we tried it. And then God really, I in my opinion, God showed us that it was worth it because it brought a lot of people to the Discord and have gotten them involved in things that matter a whole lot more than just that podcast. Yeah. And also has demonstrated that there are people that want that, because almost all the people that have found it, found it and said, like, I just was tired of listening to D&D podcasts that were foul. I wondered if there was a Christian one. Found yours, and it's the only one I found. Like, really cool, right? And so it just shows that there are people that want that. And just because they want it doesn't mean it's right, but like, they want to distance themselves from the foulness of what the world is producing in that sphere. And dude, video games are not exempt from that. There's a lot of foul video games out there.
There's a lot of foul video games.
So what if, like, I just hope the game is fun. Because, like, what if people who aren't believers go like, you know what? Everybody's saying it's fun. I'll try it. Some guy that's like really into Assassin's Creed style games, because the game looks like it plays that way a little bit. Like, not even just kind of the story. Like, yeah, like sneaking around, especially the newer ones, you know, like helping people find a lamb. Like, what if someone's like, you know what? I really liked Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Does it seem similar? I'm going to play it. And then leads them to the Lord. Or like they actually like talk to their friends about it. And then one of their friends like, oh yeah, dude. And he's like, I'm a believer. And they get to
Are they selling it? Like, they're not selling it for like AAA price, right? Like,
I don't know. I doubt it.
Do you know?
It's not for sale. It's wishlist on Steam.
Okay. I didn't know if they've released any information about the price for it.
I suppose I can
because
Google it.
That's one of the things where like, because if you have a cheaply priced game, and then people are like, oh, like the story's really good in this, you should play this. Like, not everything is like picture perfect, or the mechanics in this game are incredible, the story's meh, but you should play it. Like, I feel like that could be something where you have a game that is like Christian themed and things, but if it's made well, then people will play it and be like, I'm not all about the story in this, but I love how the mechanics work. And if that causes people to play it and fall in love with Jesus, like, what?
Sorry, continue what you're saying.
And to like fall in love with and become a follower of Christ and live their life out that way because they got told, hey, this is a really cool mechanics in a video game, not about the story. And then you're like, oh, this story is actually incredible.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would be more willing to buy. I'm more willing to buy a fun game that everyone's playing if it's a cheaper game.
Oh yeah.
Versus spending the AAA top price.
Yeah.
It didn't look AAA graphics, but I don't think they're not a AAA company.
I mean, they're not a AAA company.
So the company is called Bible X.
So like,
and BCC Media is the publisher.
And so like, they're trying to make something new. They're trying to make something new right now and make their splash in the world. And so I don't know. I think
it's just important to be
story and control,
to be mechanically good enough that like people will want to play it beyond.
Yeah, it's like with movies when it's like, oh, that was a good Christian movie, but man, like the story is terrible. Like so many Christian movies have been. Or it's like, yeah, the story's really good, but the quality, like the acting is terrible. It's like it feels like for so much Christian media can't have both.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, it's been like, does it really matter? They're like, the acting's bad, but it doesn't matter. It's like, no, if you want to reach people with it, maybe it should be. What's up?
I just saw that. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool.
Oh, it was just a still from the game on my phone. But I looked it up on Steam. I got some cool info on it here.
What do we got?
So can't find the price. It just says add to your wish list, and then you'll be notified when it becomes available. The game doesn't have a release date. It just says coming soon. But like I said, there is a demo. But it does say features, and sometimes before a game comes out, the features listed on Steam aren't actually accurate. But if they are, did you toot?
Dude, it sounded like Byron tooted though when he did that.
I tooted?
So it says features single player, online co-op.
Ooh.
That's interesting. What's that about? Cross-platform multiplayer.
How is this going to work?
I
That's
don't know what these are going to be.
crazy.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Shibbles is in.
Steam achievements. Well, okay. Captions available, whatever.
Wow, you don't care about the...
No, I'm just saying, like, those are obvious. Like, profile features limited. I don't know what that means. Oh, profile features, I think, are like, if it gives you anything for your Steam profile.
Yeah.
Full controller support. But, dude, multiplayer. Very cool.
That would be
Wonder what
cool.
that's going to be.
Hey, if we get 12...
Battle Royale?
We get 12 of us together.
people. No,
12 of
there's
us together,
no
we
way.
become the
There's no
12.
way that they could actually...
I-
You
'cause you're
come
not-
back as 12 people.
The other cool thing, too, is, like, you're not playing a named character. You're playing somebody from our time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, or you could be playing somebody from that time as long as you're not, like, Peter, right? Or someone else. Like,
They might...
So cool.
They might have you as the boy with the fish. The
Oh,
loaves and
that
the
would be
fish. And so, like,
cool.
you have to go and get the loaves of fish. And
Dude,
like, okay,
I would
listen,
lose
and then
it.
you say- and
Dude,
you're like,
if you end up being a name.
If you end up
Yeah.
being one of
The
the
unnamed.
people from the Bible that aren't named.
Yeah.
That would be so cool if, like, that's happening, that miracle, and then they're like, does anybody have anything to eat? And you look down, and in your inventory, you've got the loaves and fish.
You've had to, like, collect things, and you've been giving things away, and you come up with... Oh, my goodness.
That'd be cool.
That'd be so dope.
Shibbles
is
on board
Dude,
with that.
Such a cool idea. If the people from Gate Zero are listening right now,
Dude.
and you did not think of that, please steal that. Because I don't think that
100%.
kid's named.
No,
they
it's not.
just say there's a boy that has.
I mean,
we have these.
They go through the audience, and that's as much as they find.
Oh, okay. No, there's one where a little boy brings it for
I
you.
know that
because there's two feedings.
That's
Okay, because I know that
Am I
one
way
of
off
them
base?
is
No, John. I think in John it talks about that they just have these items. They don't say where they came from, and then like Luke tells that there's a boy that has it.
Yeah,
But
I'm
could be
gonna.
wrong. I don't know.
Well, there's two feedings.
There is
Yeah,
two
there
fe-
are two.
There are two feedings, and they're in, not in both. They're not in all four gospels.
No, they're specifically listed in. I'm sorry. Maybe you know what? We're gonna use our producer. See what you can find.
Here we go.
No, just kidding.
Put him to the test.
feeding of the 5,000 is known as the miracle of the 5 loaves and 2 fish.
Yep.
The Gospel of John reports that Jesus used 5 loaves and 2 fish supplied by a boy to feed a multitude.
okay.
I'm
So it
glad
is
that
from
that
John
came up
Gospel.
right away.
Yeah.
I just looked up Jesus miracle feeding.
Yeah.
I was expected to have to do a little more research there.
It's feeding of the 5,000.
So it is the 5,000 where
so
a
it
little
could
boy-
be. That would be super cool.
Dude, Gate Zero, Bible X, the developer, if you're listening to this, we got to find a way to email them or something. Like, if they didn't think of this, great idea. Make it so that, okay, I'm getting Snapchats and stuff.
We're getting notified by them right now.
They're responding.
They're responding.
They said-
Responding.
Oh, it was a cease and desist. We must be onto something.
no. Shoot.
They already know.
They already know. Actually, I want that phone up here so I can keep track of time a little bit. So yeah, super cool. I think I'm excited to try the demo. Like I said, I'm not going to judge it harshly on bugs or whatever. If they release it for sale and there's bad bugs, like that's a bummer.
And it's like a cyberpunk.
When did the beta come out?
I don't know. This reveal trailer was a little while ago, but I don't know. I can Google that real quick. See, so it's called Gate Zero for those who are listening. If you didn't see or if we didn't mention it, let's see beta date.
But yeah, it does look. I'm hopeful. Like I would want it. I want it to be good.
This I don't know if this is true. Okay, it looks like it was a Kickstarter. Interesting. It looks like it was kickstarted, but no. This says this little question answer thing says Gate Zero is set to be released at the end of 2024.
Okay,
so we'll see if that's true.
So they've
or not.
got some time.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter.
Huh.
Okay, here's the website for. I've got the website. Oh, I had it.
We're doing this live. Here we
Gate
go, boys.
Zero.
We're doing it live.
Gate Zero game. Their website popped up for second. All right, here we go. Gate Zero by Bible X Games, new Christian video game. Travel back in time to first century Judea and Galilee to rediscover the past.
Dum dum dum.
Play prototype on Steam, pre-order on Indiegogo, or join our mailing list. Yeah, it doesn't say, but core gameplay elements. Interact with gospel stories. Meet familiar characters, get involved with their stories, and witness biblical events firsthand. explore in free roam, discover first century Israel, and learn the cultural and historical significance of the time.
I think that's very cool and
Yeah.
important. Like, because if you could do that right and like give more context to what we read from the Bible, because there's a lot of events that happen in the Bible, like Jesus saying like, "I am the light of the world." He said that line at the point in the ceremony where all of the lights go out and it's darkness. But you don't get that unless you know
the historical
things, or you can read commentaries and stuff. But like,
that would be really cool.
It would be very cool to like be able to witness things as they're happening and learn about the culture, so that the stories, are like more impactful.
It says overcome opposing forces, witness the conflict between social groups, and sneak into forbidden areas and avoid danger. Solve tasks together with friends. Everyone can participate in a family-friendly social gaming experience. With our unique co-play feature, you can connect mobile phones to the PC and turn a single-player game into a couch or online co-op. Whoa.
That's cool.
The co-op aspect was wonderful on mobile devices. I see so much potential in this game. That's from someone that tested it. I liked the mix of the cutscenes and gameplay that are used together so the player can learn. These are testimonials. Learn while they play. Okay, so it looks like the mobile phone experience is like a separate mini game accompanying the primary game. Honestly stoked that this is a concept. I could see this being a fun youth activity tool in the future. So something I was going to say earlier. Oh, wow, they've got some stats here. Social proof, $330K raised by 4,000 plus people on Kickstarter. 30,000 people and counting have played the demo. 420,000 followers and 50 million combined views across social media. That's that social media campaign. And a bunch of screenshots from the game. Looks pretty decent. The backstory. All right. The game starts out in the year 2072 in the dystopian world of Terrapolis. You and your cousin Hector receive a cryptic mission from your eccentric late grandmother. She offers the chance to win her whole inheritance if you unlock the secrets of her mysterious, quote, pearl. You and Hector decide to solve this mystery by going back to the source in his time machine, Gate 0. Cool thing about this, though, too, is like we've talked about this a lot with Christian influence. One of, if not the most effective ways of witnessing to people is through the building of relationships, right? And this is just another great tool to build relationships with people with a shared interest, right? This is a Bible-themed video game. Maybe you have a buddy of yours who you play video games with, or they're really into video games, but they don't ever want to go to church, or they don't really often want to talk about things. But maybe you can be like, hey, you know what? You know, I've tried to invite you to church a few times and stuff, you know, but hey, there's this new Bible video game that came out. You want to play it together with me? And maybe they go, you know what? Sure, yeah. And you play it, and then you actually get an opportunity to have a conversation with them that you haven't had before.
Yeah.
Or even better yet, like this can just be something you can do together to like deepen your relationship with them, and then you get an opportunity to talk to them later. Like I know somebody who's like has a family member who is like, you know, not a believer, but The Chosen. You say what you want about that. I know it's a huge debate. You know, The Chosen was an opportunity for them to be like, hey, let's hang out together, and like I know them through online, through the Discord and stuff. But then like also like some of my family members too, it's like we don't often do a lot of things together, but one thing that we can do together is like, hey, let's like, this is edifying. Like, let's watch this together. I know a lot of people watching this may also hate The Chosen, you know, like that's a whole can of worms. I think, you know, if you're careful with it, it's okay to watch. Like, it's not scripture though. Don't replace scripture with The Chosen. We've talked about that on the show a lot. That's been a big debate in the Discord lately though. So, but yeah, you know, it's similarly, you know, it's just glorify God in all that we do. And also, why can't Christians make Christian media and it be good? So I hope this is good, man.
I hope that it's good.
Absolutely.
I don't want another
Another what?
Because
bad one?
Yeah, because basically every single time that I hear, oh, they're making something like
we don't need this screen anymore, Shib, just you know, if it's still up, or I'm not sure about.
Okay. Like, because every time like that there's like, oh, it's a new Christian movie come out, I'm just like,
okay.
Yeah, Noah just got a big resurgence because it was got put on Netflix or whatever. Did you see that?
The
Russell Crowe Noah?
No.
Yeah. The No.
So like that's the other side of it where it's like
Hollywood taking Christian stories, right?
Yeah. But you get like Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, but from my understanding, there's a lot of Christians that were on the ground floor that working in DreamWorks, right?
Well, yes, but like I'm just
and it was a different time.
It was a different time, but like that's when we had really good,
great,
incredible.
It might be like the single best like Christian media. But no,
what was the other
Noah,
one? Prince of Egypt and
the many color Code of Many Colors.
Yeah, the Code of Many Colors. But like also, I just
way less popular.
Yeah, but I mean,
still good. I just don't know like that really one. Good. Like most people didn't even know that existed.
But like, I just like those are such outliers of what Christian like movies have been.
Yeah,
like, and
most of them are terrible.
And I think that that's just really rough. And I feel like every time that there's a new one, it's just like, oh, it's worse. And then we get one that is like The Chosen, like
quality.
The quality of like the cinematography of it and the acting is good.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole can of worms with like a bunch of things about it.
Well, but that's the problem.
But like
because now it's matters. Because we throw them out because they're trash half the time. But then what comes in that's not trash.
When it's not trash.
So now it's controversy.
Now it's like huge amount of controversy. And
the devil's at work, man. He knows what he's doing. Dude. Like, have you thought about that?
He's no fool.
Yeah. Have you thought about that? Like, all us believers are so busy being like, this guy who's claiming to be a believer, claiming to try and do something for God. And you're so busy being like, he's a Satanist. He's a false this. That it's like, you know what? Maybe that's the enemy working through us a little bit.
Yeah.
Like getting to us and allowing us to just focus way too much on tearing the church down. And yeah, I agree. It's a bummer that the Mormon church is even at all closely related to it or at all related. That's a bummer. But my understanding is, I mean, this is conjecture kind of, but like it seems like the reason that season 4 hasn't come out is because they're trying to kind of distance themselves from Angel Studios and all that. Would that not be the answer that all the people that want to burn the show to the ground want? Like, that's a good sign. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was that he doesn't want it that closely. We don't know. But like, it's just a bummer. I mean, we say all the time, there's stuff that, yeah, we don't like it or that's icky. Like we talked on the last episode about the Trump Bible. Can God still use it? Yes, he can.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm not saying then if someone is out there being like blatantly heretical or whatever, like, and claiming, you know, these things and choosing to be that way and all that, like we go, well, that's okay. We shouldn't put a stop to it. Yeah, I think, well, so then if that's what you believe that The Chosen is, then yeah, I guess go for it. But it's just a bummer that like what you're seeming like to touch on right there is like stuff's trash. It gets thrown to the side anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
And then once anything is of quality comes out, then it just gets ripped to no end, which like.
But you know what? Even though The Chosen has been ripped to no end, and it just sucks that I have to feel like I have to be like, I know. You know, like I know there's a can of worms, and then I can talk. Yeah. Or like you're like, yeah, there's a can of worms to it, and then you can talk. It's like, that's just annoying, man. Like, just I don't know. It's just a bummer. But despite that, we do know that God has used the Chosen. Yes. There's a ton of people that He's used.
God has used the Chosen.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, God uses much worse things.
Yeah.
Like
so
for the good of those that love Him and to bring others into His kingdom.
Yeah.
Like,
so we just pray that He does, and pray that people will continue to make things that He chooses to use, and we just hope that people are doing things for the right reasons. I would highly doubt these people are making Gate Zero for the wrong reasons, but I mean, I hope they're making it for the right reasons. Yeah. I guess like the other one, the I Am Jesus Christ one, it just seems like a little icky or fishy.
I feel like they're trying to do.
But I can see.
I want to give them benefit of the doubt that they're trying to do it for the right reasons.
Maybe they're like, there's no Christian video games. Let's make one that unbelievers will want to play.
And it's just
they make you the powerful character in the story.
Yeah, you want to be the powerhouse. You get to be God. And
so then as you do things, do you get like level up on the skill trees and you have to like level up powers like walk on water now just a bit. Ability just unlocked?
I doubt it, but maybe. I mean,
I think it's just probably going to be like, once you're in this situation, then you can do that power, and then you can do that power in perpetuity after that situation.
If they do it very biblical and like do it what I would think is more correct, I guess, I don't know, they're gonna have to very railroad you. Like you have to do it this way.
Oh, I mean,
if they're trying to do an I am Jesus Christ story, but also trying to not be very blasphemous or whatever, like, so, okay, 40 days in the desert. So, you know, the devil's like, do this, you do it, you fail the mission then? You would have to, like, right? Like,
yeah.
So,
I mean, there's either has to not be an option to do that, which...
Then it's just a cutscene.
Then it's just a cutscene, which...
The whole thing then becomes a cutscene.
So then would a movie, a POV, like, style movie of the life of Christ be wrong? No, not at all.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, I don't know. I'm not saying that the I am Jesus Christ one is necessarily... I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. I think it's a little disrespectful. But this one, we'll focus on the good one.
Yeah.
Hopefully when it comes out, it's
that it has a lot of, like... I can't remember what the word... Yeah, potential.
Yeah.
It has a lot of potential in it. Now, if it all comes to fruition or not, which... Yeah, it could occur.
Yeah,
like,
don't drop the ball, Bible X.
Please don't.
No.
Please don't.
We should be praying
even
for them.
if it's a little bit, like... I would want to try it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the demo out when I have some time. See if I can stream it, and that would be fun. Let us know in the comments if you want us to talk about this anymore. If you're interested, and if you want some follow up, yeah, I'll let me know. If you want me to play it, come back, talk about it, or us to play it, or whatever, come back, talk about it. Let us know. Also, let us know. Do you want to see more video game related content? This one was really easy to talk about because it's Bible themed. But if on the show you want us to talk a little bit more about video games, let us know. We'll do it. So, hardcore topic shift, and then we'll end the show. But Byron, before we started recording earlier, you mentioned something that you guys did recently. What was that? You were like, so we watched this movie or something, and then I was like, oh yeah, just save it. What were you going to say?
Yeah.
Oh, so last night I'm really tired today. Sorry. Stayed up way too late. We watched Inception?
Interstellar.
No, Interstellar.
I'm trying to fake a reaction that I gave earlier. What made you watch Interstellar last night? Of all the, you just happened to?
I was over at a friend's house. We were just
gross. I don't care anymore.
I know. I have other friends. Sorry.
So you didn't watch Interstellar?
No, it was just me.
No.
What?
It was just me. It was me and the
I was at home reading a book.
Interstellar? The script?
Yeah, it was. So
I was reading a book that was Interstellar.
You did.
Oh, Dune.
Dune. So hanging out with friends, children.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do. We wanted to find something that was appropriate for young ones and older ones. And so then we were like, okay, what do we want to watch?
You pick a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
We were like
2 hour and 40
We were
minute
like, this movie. Nope. This movie. Nope. This movie. Nope. Interstellar. Nope. Let's go to this one. Nope. Let's go to this one. Nope. And you're
Back
like,
to
okay.
Interstellar?
And we're like, well, let's just watch Interstellar. That's a good one. I haven't seen it in a long time. And then one of the boys was like, I haven't seen it. And we're like, we have
what
to
a ride.
watch Interstellar. And so we were like, okay, let's go.
So you
watch
like
it.
that movie, right?
This was the second time I've seen the movie.
Okay.
I forgot the whole movie until we got 10 minutes into the thing. And I was like this, I remember this movie now.
It's a good movie,
And I'm like,
right?
this is actually good.
Okay. Perry
Why?
and I also watched it.
Last night.
Finished it last night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because I was like telling her about it. I've told her about it before. And so this has been a long time
She's never
coming.
seen it?
She had never seen it. And it doesn't sound like something she would like when I explained it to her. But I kind of was like, you know what? Like, it's difficult for me to do things if I feel like I'm the one that wants to do them and she doesn't. It's hard for me to be like, I feel selfish, you know? But she's like, no, it's okay. Like, it's not like I don't want to watch it. If you want to watch it, let's watch it. And so we start it. And the plot, like when I tried to explain it, it didn't sound super interesting to her. And I also don't want to spoil anything. So I was like, she's like, is it a space movie? I'm like, well,
Yeah.
technically, yeah. But like, I know what she means by that. There's a lot of ones, it's like, they're not that interesting. But this is much more than that. I was like, no, it's like, it's dramatic. It's about family and like love and like all these things. Like, and it's exciting. And there's a lot of, like, I didn't want to say there's a lot of twists, you know, because when you expect a twist. And so it's like, and it's just exciting and it's different. It's got like a really interesting ending too. And it's cool. And she's like, okay. So we started it, and it's hard for us to watch movies in one sitting, especially if we're watching them during the week, because it's like we both have to get up pretty early. She has to get up pretty early for work. Because she gets up, then that's when I start working as well. But like, we're trying to go to bed earlier too. So we try not to stay up past like 8:30 or 9. And usually if we're watching something, it's like 9.
Yeah.
And we can't we start dinner at 7 or whatever, and then we're eating, and then we start watching something, and so we don't really get to watch very much. So we watched that movie over the course of 3 days. But the point is, we finished it last night. So it was crazy earlier when you were like, watch Interstellar last night. I was like,
oh,
which is such an Interstellar thing to do, to be like,
yeah,
it's all connected, But movie's great, dude.
It was so good.
Really like that movie.
Oh my gosh.
I think I was bummed. It doesn't have the same. I was just expecting this emotional tension and resonance to just hit her like a truck with the ending, and it didn't, because we watched it over the course of 3 sittings.
Yeah,
and we were watching it on Paramount Plus, and the app is trash, and so we're watching it for 5 minutes, freezes, and so you have to go back out of the app, start the movie, and it comes back.
That's so
and it did
dumb.
it 10 to 20 times. Each sitting. No, probably close to 10 each sitting. It was, so it's also all these interruptions, but also over the course of 3 times. But she still thought it was good. I just wanted
you want that impact.
Oh,
during that scene when he's in the
when he's in that scene. Yep, that scene with this scene with that thing.
Oh no,
are you talking about that
I
one?
was just gonna
No, just kidding.
I was just saying, don't spoil it. But go ahead.
I mean, he cries at one point.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cry scene
during the crying scene. If you're
there's 2, but you're talking about the one that became the meme. The
yeah. But if you
that happened.
Oh no!
So that starts
That's
happening.
The one scene that you.
I know, and I'm like, oh, this scene is really popular, for what happens or whatever. And I was like, this is a good scene, and because we're watching it, and she's like, he's smiling, and then he starts
yeah,
and then it stopped, and I was like,
because you have to watch it in one go.
Yeah,
for it
But we got most of it in
because he's
that is
actor.
early into the voyage that happens, because the pacing of that movie, I love it. From a story perspective, it's he makes this decision to go into space, and it's this big emotional decision, and it's but there's this one thing, it'll make it okay if this, and it's just sorry, I'm trying not to spoil it, but just this thing, and you're like,
something happens.
It's a great movie.
So,
and then you're like, I'm only a third of the way into the movie. You're like,
what?
Yeah,
I've not seen it in so long.
I hadn't seen it
so long.
In so long. And watching it was, I knew it was building up to one thing about the ending, but then everything after that, I forgot that existed. And
so if I say a character, not a character, but a actor, that probably wouldn't spoil it, right?
No.
Okay, so Matt
Damon.
Matt Damon. So I'm watching it, and one of the mom that I was watching it with, she was sitting there, and she hadn't been watching it with us. She was coming in and out of the room, and she comes in and she's like, "What are we watching?" And I'm like, "Interstellar." And she's like, "Oh, I thought we were watching The Martian."
The Martian, yeah.
And I'm like this, well, he is wearing orange and a spacesuit. It's about the same.
Yeah, the funny thing, I think this is a safe thing to say. The thing about Matt Damon's character is he's one of the people that's stranded on a planet.
Yeah, he plays that character.
And
he plays a stranded character on a planet.
Part of the plot in this movie is that there are people on different planets that they're going to go to,
Yeah.
And so there's different planets with individual people on each of these planets. And it's just so funny that Matt Damon in The Martian is stranded on Mars. And then in this part of his characters, he's like, I feel stranded on this planet.
Yeah, it's just an alternate ending.
But it's the spacesuit. The problem is it's Matt
orange.
Damon in a spacesuit that is orange, and they look very, very similar.
They do look pretty similar.
Like if you put them side by side, you'd be like, oh wait, that's definitely not the same.
I'm trying to find something out
from your memory, trying to find the photo. You're like,
about so Matt Damon in that movie. No, I'm wrong. Who plays Tars? Who's the voice of Tars? Tars is the robot.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Okay, it's not Matt Damon. The whole movie, I thought Matt Damon was the voice of Tars. It sounds very similar. If you go into that movie thinking it's Matt Damon, it's some guy named Bill Irwin.
Oh, Bill Irwin.
Oh, you know him?
No.
Okay.
Not anymore.
He's known for
what is he in?
Sesame Street.
Perfect.
Something called a podcast called 6 Sermons. I hope that's something called This Is Us. Yeah, it just looks like he's done a lot of
Star Trek
stuff that Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, Discovery. Never mind. That does not count.
Yeah. No, but
dude, it's
the guy that plays Seneca Crane from Hunger Games. Also, Jamie from Yellowstone. He's in it. Forgot that. But dude, great movie. Watch it.
Dune, main character.
Yeah, Timothée Chalamet. When he's really young.
He's really young. I'm like,
Matthew McConaughey's son.
It's so weird.
So something that happened when we watched this movie though. We start watching it. first episode, or whatever you want to call it. We're sitting there, and it's like, all the like him on the farm stuff, because the movie's really in acts, like him on Earth, and it's longer than I thought. It was him on Earth in the farm and all that stuff, and then him going to space, and then there's a distinct third act where things just get wild. But the first act, when we're watching that was mostly the first viewing, my first day. We're sitting there, and Perry just goes, I feel like Jude his personality. Jude imitates this guy. Referring to Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey in that movie, watch it. There is so much about Jude, the way he like holds himself.
When did that movie come out?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess.
What was
14?
No.
So was he like young enough to like?
24. Dude, I do this 14? So many times.
You're so good.
How did I was like, if I think about it too much, it won't happen. But if I just guess a movie year, I'm usually really close. 2014 is when it came out.
Okay.
Dang.
Right before.
So like once he became a teenager, he watched that movie, and then,
is the year that Obama got elected.
Oh,
that was 2008 and 12.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I mean, the original is 2008 when he got elected. Like, I'm just saying, if it came out in 08, that would be that helps you. Is it B? Is it BB before Obama? BO, no, BB before Obama.
Before Barack.
Before Barack.
BOB.
Before Barack. Yeah.
BB before Barack, or AB after Barack.
After Barack.
I'm just saying. Like,
well, now we have a new way to delineate.
Well, you got to remember,
08 and
in our life growing up, that is a pinnacle moment.
Yeah,
because we were 10.
Yeah,
like that's the middle of our lives, kind of where we're at now, or almost a third of the way through our lives. But like, yeah, and then but 10 is like where you really start remembering. Like it's like the middle of kidhood.
Dude, I remember that ceremony.
Watch Interstellar.
It's good. It's worth it.
And the thing about Jude, it's true. Like while you're watching that movie, there's just a way Matthew McConaughey, short hair, looks like Jude. Same head shape, same way Jude likes to cut his hair when he cuts his hair. The way he like holds himself. There's a part where like he picks up like a notebook and he like puts his leg up and he's like writing the way Jude writes. I was like, oh man, Perry's so right. And also Jude played a D&D character for a little while in our family campaign, and his voice was just Matthew McConaughey's voice. But also, you okay there?
Yeah, dude. I just had a weird like I had my arm on the thing and it happened again.
It's called a zinger.
It's actually called a zinger?
It's actually like, yeah, you have a zinger.
Yeah, it's just weird. I felt a tingle all the way from the top of my thumb to here.
But Matthew McConaughey, I don't know what to say.
Here?
Yeah, dude. All the way down.
Oh, Jude.
Median. Okay. No.
Jude has this idea. He brought it up on the podcast a long time ago about time travel and about like the most interesting thing about like time and how we view time. Because like the concept of time, does come up in Interstellar a lot, just because they're talking about like relativity and stuff like that, right? So you get that in the very beginning of the movie. Yeah. But Jude just has this idea, and I was watching the movie and reminded like, this is absolutely where Jude's idea for like relativity and everything came from.
Did he just base his entire?
I'm not saying he stole it, but I can see what inspired his idea. Because Jude has this idea that he brought up on the podcast one time about like a flip book, remember? Yeah. Or like you're in a place looking at time and you can like see it in instances. Huh. And
I mean, he would have
some stuff that they talk about in this movie. You can see
he would have been like around 12 or something, right?
Well, he's seen the movie.
No, but like, did he just base his entire life at that moment? He saw the movie and was just like,
I think he saw the movie when he was older, but maybe
that's it.
That's how I'm going to act. That's how I'm going to move. This is how I'm going to cut my hair. Yeah. This is how.
Just saying. I told Jude, I was like, hey, just want to let you know.
Or they based the movie on childhood.
There you go.
Jude.
Childhood Jude. It definitely not childhood. Jude as an adult and Jude as a child are very different. But no, I told Jude like, hey, we watched this movie and Perry said this, and he was like, he's like, there's worse people to be compared to. I'll take it as a compliment. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It is pretty cool to be compared to Matthew McConaughey.
If I was watching, or if someone was watching a movie and was like, man, I just feel like Jerry reminds me of this guy.
Dude, Jerry just reminds me of Adam Sandler.
Oh, that's a bummer. That's a real bummer. I don't like Adam Sandler.
Dude, he's good in some movies.
Yeah, Hoobie Halloween. Dude, that movie, you either love it or you hate it. It's really true. I mean, it's not true because I don't hate it, but I don't like it. So
I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't like absolutely hate it. I
would never watch it again, though.
I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it.
There's somebody that I see pretty often. who's listening to this, who likes it. Oh, does
Wait,
like
Shibbles, do you like it?
Oh,
okay.
Hubie Halloween. It's like a really dumb Adam
It's
Sandler
so
movie.
dumb.
Sorry to the one listening who I know likes it, but like different movies, you know.
It's okay. Well,
We should go.
Yes, we should go.
Fun episode. Thanks for being here. Thank you for hanging out. If you want to hang out with us, not just here listening to the show or sitting at the table with us, go to discord.gg/Christian Influence. You can hang out with us there. We've got an awesome community. It's a community centered on faith and fellowship. So find us there. And then if you would like, we've got more content. Go check it out. If you're just finding this episode, go listen to other episodes. We have a lot of fun doing this. Like and subscribe. Sorry for saying it, but please, it helps us out a lot. Also,
hit the little bell notification. No.
yeah, you don't have to do that, but do
Please
it.
don't.
And then rate the show on Spotify, things like that, if you like it, and send it to a friend. But yeah, we want to hear from you. So comment below if you want to hear more about video games. Comment below if you want me to play that game, come back and talk about it. Let us know what kind of content you want to see on the show, and we'll definitely review it. And then
Comment below. Comment below.
Yeah. And then for Levi's This Week in the News, maybe come up with if you can think of a fun date, throw it in there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for hanging out. We love you very much.
Roll the outro.
That's a good one.